Peace, fam. What's up? What's going on? What is good with you? Your boy, he popped up on the scene. Wanted to talk about a few things that I was thinking about last night. When I was thinking about my father, I never met my. Nah, let me restate that. I didn't know my father very well. I did meet him, but I can only remember one time actually being in the presence of my father. You know what I mean? I'm sure that he came by more often than that, as my mom told me when I was younger. But I can't remember any of those types of things. But with that being the case, I was just thinking about, because I'm talking about some social issues today. We'll deal with some metabolism stuff. Also, we'll deal with detoxing. We'll deal with also some skincare products that I have. Be sure to give me a shout out when you come into the building. Be sure to give that thumbs up. Again, today, guys, we're talking about, I'm dealing specifically with my father for a little while and talking about the fact that I never really remember doing anything with him, but understanding that he did get drafted into the Vietnam War, and he did see some of his friends killed, and he did end up being discharged because of a injury that he received in Vietnam. So again, come in and give me a shout out, guys. Give yourself a shout out. Let me know where you at, where you from. What's up, V? I see you, V. You always on the scene, V. I see you. How you doing this morning? Good to see you. But yeah, so my father, when I think about certain things, I'm thinking about how much of a disregard that even in our time that this government has had for, black people in general. You know what I mean? It's really kind of crazy that you would really, what's up, Tabitha? That you would think that you were being legally discriminated against at home, but yet forced to go and fight a war somewhere else for the same country that is legally discriminating against you, and especially from the South. Me and my mom had a talk. Yeah, my mom is good. Me and my mom had a talk yesterday. She was telling me about how she was forced to go sit up in the balcony. That she remembered that. She was talking about how they had what they call the Dixie Classic Fair, which they have going on right now in my town. And they had what was called a black fair and a white fair. So they couldn't go to the white fair, so they had to go to the black fair. She was also just talking about how she was in the store one time with my oldest brother. My oldest brother, he got me by 7 years, so he must be about 54. My oldest brother, and she was going to buy some clothes, and she had a bucket full of clothes, she said, and she said that the lady actually told her that she can only buy 2 items. And my mom said she just dropped all the items in the middle of the floor and told her she ain't buying none of them. She said she thought she was going to get locked up, though. But just to know that those things are still, that stuff is not far removed. Again, and I was thinking about the lack of fatherhood that was occurring during that time frame when I was born, with a lot of those individuals being forced to go off to war, then coming back as pretty much damaged goods. And when I think back on my father, like I said, I really don't know my father in that way. He's since passed. He passed in 99, I think. We went to the funeral, and I didn't even recognize, I recognized his face because I looked like him to a certain degree, but I had no emotions. I wasn't upset at him. I wasn't sad that he was gone because I didn't know him. There was a ton of different things going on. And then I think back, one thing for sure, that I never disliked my father for not being there. And I never held a grudge against him. And I'm glad I didn't. You know what I mean? She's still a little sick. Sis is still a little sick. And I'm glad I didn't hold that against him, because the more and more I learn, I have half brothers, and we recently started to communicate with each other after forever. You know what I mean? It wasn't that we wasn't cool. We just really didn't know. We just really didn't know each other to a certain extent. So he did spend a little bit more time with them and they was telling me about how traumatic the Vietnam War was to him, how it really broke him down, and how it turned him into alcoholism. You feel what I'm saying? And that right there went on to help me understand the position of our people in that time frame, and help me understand my unique situation with my father, which is not so unique, but unique in the sense that this is what I had to deal with on a personal level. And now I come to a better understanding as to how and why not only my father but many others could not meet the call of duty when it came to being a parent to their children. Again, this is not an excuse, but this is some things that happen to individuals along their path. Not only having to be forced to go fight a war when you can't do certain things in your own homeland, but also to have to deal with the war and the trauma from that, and to come back and deal with the traumatic environment that you're living in, being Jim Crow and pretty much still oppressed. That can break anybody's mental health, and for most men, that really damages the health of the mind, knowing that you are being completely dominated by a whole nother people, and then you was forced to go and fight a war that wasn't even your war, that you didn't even want to go fight. You see your friends get killed and blown up, and then you get injured as well. So the more and more I started to talk, the more and more I started to ask my mom about my father, etc., the more and more I came to the understanding of what it is that he was likely dealing with, and why he really couldn't meet the call of duty as really being a parent, and why he ended up turning to alcoholism. Now, he had a professional life where he did, and he was able to thrive in his profession, but at the same time, he was a functional alcoholic, and he was an absentee parent for sure. In my case, and even in my half brother cases, they say he wasn't there long. You know what I mean? He got about a Dodge. He was come back in town. He would see them. He really wouldn't see me. But I think that it may have been some guilt there when dealing with me, etc. But I don't know, because I never really had a chance to talk to him before he passed. And that's one thing that if I look back on things, I wish I was able to do that. But again, I was gone for a long time in prison, and basically when I got out, he had passed. He had about 2 or 3 months later, he was passing away, and my half brother's mother got in touch with me, and I was able to actually go to the funeral though. So I did see him in the casket. So it was a unique thing. What you guys think about that Amber Geiger case, in the sense that one of the guys that testified against her in the case came up dead, according to what I saw on a couple of YouTube channels. Something a little strange with that. But also dealing with metabolism, guys. Remember, if you're trying to lose weight, particularly fat, then you have to have a functioning metabolism that's working for you and not against you. There's no such thing as speeding up the metabolism, in my estimation. The way you fix the metabolism is you work to make the body more efficient and more clean. So you want to detox the body. And again, last night we had some people on, and they was talking about using Epsom salt as a laxative, and that I don't recommend those type of things. Those are extreme type of thing, even though that may be natural to a certain degree, but I don't think consuming Epsom salt is actually really a natural way to go about allowing the body to move its bowels. More so would be engaging in herbs that are good for the body, but naturally detox the body and naturally move things out of the body. So you're dealing with the herbs, you're dealing with the oregano, you're dealing with even the dandelion, you're dealing with the chlorella, you're dealing with the milk thistle. All those type of things work to help to detox the body and help to move things out of the body. If you're really toxified when it comes to certain things in the body, guys, you want to make sure that you utilize some of that activated charcoal periodically. When you come in the building, guys, make sure you get that thumbs up. Give a shout out to, let me know you're in the building. Don't be hiding. Say something to me. Talk to me. I ain't gonna be on long, guys. I'm gonna be on another 5 minutes. Then I'm getting up out of here. But yeah, so that's what you want to do, guys. When you're dealing with that metabolism, you're dealing with trying to make sure that you're getting the body functioning in a way where you're detoxing those things that are coming into the body that are not good for the body. And we're bringing them in all types of ways, guys, through the consumption of food, water, drinks, etc., as well as through putting stuff on our skin that are toxic, the cosmetics that are super toxic, and those type of things. All right, I'm about to shut it down. But yeah, that's basically what we're dealing with today, guys. And like with the metabolism, again, you do have to have an efficient metabolism if you're going to try to lose weight. And the best way to go about that is to clean up your eating, as well as to try to reduce the inflammation in the body. What's up, Harden 54? Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to talk about real quick. I just wanted to share that part of my story with about my father and about the relationship and why I understand why he wasn't really able to be there. And you know what I mean, understanding why he wasn't able to be there. And then again, looking at the society for what it is. So again, like a lot of individuals will be upset if I tell them that I'm not gonna vote, which I'm not, unless the candidates that are running has a plan for reparation. If they don't have no plans for reparations, I have no plans to vote for them. It's simple as that. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what Monte's gonna do. What's up, Mary? How you doing? I'm about to get up out of here, guys. I ain't come on for long today. I just wanted to come on real quick and just drop that in. Again, if you didn't catch my video last night, guys, I got a ton of hemp cosmetic products. The reason I invested in those products is because they're organic, they're chemical free, and when you look at all the chemicals, especially you ladies that are putting in the cosmetics and all that type of stuff, that's gonna be if you just putting anything on your body, you're really setting yourself up for a toxified environment inside the body and lending yourself towards a little bit of possible cancer causing agents in those products. All right, you say please vote, sir. So now, Trump ain't the worst thing that ever happened to this country. Believe me on that. Many of you guys love Bill Clinton, but Bill Clinton destroyed the inner cities with that trade agreement with Mexico and all those other countries, sending all the those factory jobs that most black people was working down south to those other countries, and black people got put back the furthest when that happened. Also, Bill Clinton was behind doubling down on the Sentencing Act that they knew was unfair, that was sending black people to prison for long times. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't justifying the selling of dope, but at the same time, Bill Clinton and the Democratic Party made a very conscious decision to allow that to continue to go on, and many people are still suffering to this day. So no, if any politician that I vote for has to be for reparations, if they're not for reparations, I can't deal with them. So again, we get caught up on Trump. Actually, I like the fact that Trump is clear with what it is that he's about. He lets you know up front who and what he is. The fact is, we get confused by those who be smiling in our face, and then we don't necessarily look at the policies behind what it is that they're doing or what it is that they did. Again, Bill Clinton has done way more damage to the community, the black community, than Donald Trump will ever have a chance to do. This don't mean that Trump ain't what he is. He is what he is, which is it's all right with me. I'm glad he is who he is, because I know who he is. It's those other jokers that be playing games. You know what I mean? CBD oil muscle cream. I don't know about the CBD oil muscle cream. I mean, you were hard. I can't say he was or he wasn't. None of those who landed in the presidential office had my best interest in mind. Let me put it like that. None of them. Even Barack. I love him. He's a beautiful human being, but he's part of the system. And I'm not telling other individuals not to vote, because yeah, you do got to get inside the system in order to change the system, but I don't see the system being changed unless the system is uprooted with a whole new party of people coming in. So I can't deal with that. And I have an issue with black people being married to the Democratic Party just because they're so afraid of the Republican Party. Some even say the lesser of two evils. I can't ride with that. The lesser of two evils. I ain't dealing with none of the evils. But again, that's me. But if a politician steps up and tells me that they're for reparations and show and put the plan together to pursue reparations, then that's a politician that I can vote for. Until then, I will not be voting for any of them. And that's just my position. But again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I'm not going to do. And I don't want to hear, hey, God bless you as well. And I can't ride for people who just vote for the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party hasn't done anything of significance to change the condition of the masses of black people. So that voting, I'm not just going to vote just to vote. Like I said, I have parameters in what it is that I expect out of a politician. You can't tell me to vote just because you don't want Trump in there. And I'm not talking about you, Hard, I'm talking about in general. And for those individuals talking about your ancestors died for me to vote. No, they didn't die for me to vote for another set of evil people who are not doing the things that they need to do. Get me a politician that is going to fill the needs that I'm looking for, and that's what I'm going to go with. So I ain't trying to hear that. Go ahead and vote, guys. I don't care about you voting, but don't try to condemn me for not voting, because it ain't going to happen. They got to be for what it is that I am looking for. I'm looking for somebody who's going to pursue the reparations. If they can't even pursue the reparations, they can't represent nothing good for me. Nothing. And I'm not saying they'll ever get the reparations, but for you not to even recognize that we need reparations after all the evil that has been done, then ain't no way I'm voting for them. I don't care if they black or white. Again, most of them are just part of the system. So I can't have that. I would never have that. So like I said, when you come at me, you got to come at me correct. Give me reasons to vote. Don't give me to be scared of Donald Trump to vote. Donald Trump has done, like I said, absolutely half of what Bill Clinton has done. Bill Clinton has done more damage. Now I'm just talking about Bill Clinton. I ain't talking about all the rest of them that came before and those who came behind them. But people in my generation loved Bill Clinton when I was growing up in my 20s. They loved him. And again, they didn't see what he was doing with the policies that absolutely handicapped the black communities. That's what I'm talking about. So again, you can't just allow me, you can't just be on here talking about vote, or you can't ride with people that don't vote. Don't ride with me then. Keep riding in those cars that you ride with, and you'll keep getting that same foolishness that you've been getting. And Bill and Bill Clinton policies, were more detrimental than Donald Trump's affiliation with white nationalists, etc. Bill Clinton was against people of color with his policies. So you get confused. I'm talking to Harden 54. You get confused with policy, and you getting and people acting kind towards you. The slave masters were kind to some of their slaves, but they still was their master, and they still was against the overall rise of that individual to be free. You guys get scared because Trump actually tells you who he is. Those other individuals who was in the White House, they were the same way, but they manipulated your mind. They manipulated you to get you to vote, and then you go check out the policies, and those policies will tell you how beneficial they were to you. Bill Clinton not only did damage to us over here, he did damage to those in Haiti. Him and his family members. No doubt about it. But what I'm telling you is, I don't care who the president is. I'm telling you the track record of what it is that black people have came up against. Tell me the condition of the inner city has been any better when you had a Democratic president in office since 1970. Harden, that's what we want to talk about. Since 1970 into now, tell me the difference of the inner city. Has it gotten any better? You can't tell me that. It hasn't gotten any better. It has gotten worse. Trump is the president now. And again, my situation is the same whether Trump was in office. My situation is the same when Obama was in office. I'm making my ends the way I make them no matter who's in office. But then at the end of the day, I recognize what they are. You guys are so scared of Trump. So scared of Trump. Trump this, Trump that. Look at the other ones that you love so much. And matter of fact, look at your boy Obama. I love Obama. But what did Obama do specifically that really benefited black people? He made it clear that he wasn't the black president. I understand his move, but he did more for the LGBTQ community and those who were Hispanic than he did to push any legislation really dealing specifically with black people. For those of you who love Obama so much, I don't dislike Obama. I actually love the fact that he's a beautiful spirited brother, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, just because you black doesn't mean that you're working for the benefit of black people. And he made that clear. All y'all get stuck on this black person in the office. What did he do specifically for black people? No, I agree with you, Mary. I agree with you, Mary. I have no problem with you voting. I understand that. I have no problem with you voting. I already know Obama's wisdom, my Harden 54. The fact is, Obama came into office. He made this statement right here. Those who caused the 2008 crash, or the crash before that, 2007, when the economy crashed, he said those who were behind that would have to be dealt with and have to go to prison. He said he would do that when he was running his campaign. Not one person who had been identified for the cause of the collapse went to prison. Not one person. He didn't hold his word. He didn't hold his word. When it came down to American citizens who happen to identify themselves with certain political organizations that were outside of the United States government that they put on a terrorist list. He went in and he had those individuals murdered, and they were American citizens who were not subject to be murdered like that, just like that. So yeah, no doubt about it, Heart. It's always peace and love. But again, you can never make me feel bad. You can never make me feel bad for not voting for individuals who don't represent what it is that I'm looking for. And for those of you who do vote, go ahead and vote. You know what I mean? That's your right. I'm not mad at you. What I'm saying specifically, if this is the first thing on the table for an individual that I'm talking about as far as voting is concerned, first thing on the table for me is this: if they're not for reparation and pushing an agenda to have reparation on the table, I can't vote for them. That's the first thing. So if they don't meet that criteria, they're off the table. The reason being is, for so long and for too long, our plight as the descendant of slaves have been ignored in this America, as if that plight doesn't reflect on the condition we find a lot of our people in. You understand what I'm saying? So if they can't recognize that, then I can't recognize them as somebody representing me. I hear you, Darlene. Not Darlene, Darlene. You know what I mean? Yeah, nothing. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. We got to get out of this, you know what I mean, because an individual happen to have our skin color or speaks to a certain segment or is a Democratic. That's the thing I got with black people. Too many black people automatically tie themselves to the Democratic Party. And I'm not mad at you. I understand. I understand that. No doubt about it. I'm not mad at you. But at the end of the day, I can't just align myself with just anything unless they're meeting a certain criteria that I'm putting out there. And I'm putting out a criteria because, again, I've been misled, just like many of us have been misled to believe that individuals actually get in there and really start to work for the cause, specific cause of black people. Like every other demographic has their specific cause. The Latinos have theirs, the Asians have theirs, the Chinese have theirs. All those who are in America in this melting pot have specific agendas that they put forth for the people who they're going to elect into the office. You know what I mean? We don't do it. But I do. You know what I mean? I do. I just can't ride with this status quo type stuff no more. And I hadn't been riding with it ever, to be honest with you. But again, it's just it's a lot of love. It's not a lot of love I still have for my people. I have love for Obama. I know what Trump is. But at the same time, Trump don't scare me no more than any other individual that gets into that office and says nice things and does other things behind our back under the table. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm getting at, guys. That's what I'm getting at. And the reason why we went here, guys, is if you just tuning in, I was talking about my father. And I was talking about, just think about the idea of individuals being actually drafted into the armed forces to fight for a country that they were actually being discriminated against inside the country. Meaning you was treated as less of an individual. You was legally discriminated against. Yes, you was forced to be drafted into a war and fight a war for that same country that didn't even recognize your total right to be human. And I'm talking about the 1960s. I'm talking about my father, because I didn't know my father. And my father passed, and I never had a relationship with my father. I saw my father maybe one time that I can really remember. My mother said I saw him much more than that. But I was told about how traumatic that was to him as I look back on it, because I hold no grudges against him. I never felt bad against him. I just didn't know him. And when I went to his funeral, like I said, for those who was already in the chat, I didn't even have no feelings You know what I mean? I was looking at my father and I had no feelings. No, I wasn't upset at him. I wasn't mad at him. I wasn't crying. I didn't know him. I didn't know him. And then I got to that point where I started to understand like why he was an absentee dad. And then I started to learn about his Vietnam experience and how that traumatized. And then I saw how he came home and he became a functional alcoholic. He had a professional career, but he was a functional alcoholic. You know what I mean? So when I think about these type of things, and I think about the abuse that we continuously look at and experience, then I look at politicians and I look at those who supposed to stand in place and make a difference, and they can't even recognize just the subtle thing. And like I said, it ain't even really about me ever getting a reparation at all. It's about them not even recognizing, and I'm talking about people of ourselves, not even recognizing the fact that we do need to be repaired. And the hell with how you gonna do it. You'll figure that out. You figured out everything else. You understand what I'm saying? When people talk about, well, how you gonna divvy up the money out? Look here. It can be figured out. You figured out everything else. That's, you know what I mean? So this is so respect. It's just the disrespect. This government has totally disrespected our being for the time that we've been here. And like I said, for them to not even recognize that, and I'm not just talking about white people, I'm talking about black people who go into office, who won't push reparations. So I can't deal with these type individuals. Here we are, we're about to celebrate I ain't gonna celebrate it. Y'all might be celebrating Christopher Columbus Day. Look how disrespectful these people is. They actually give a holiday to a mass murderer, to a genocidal maniac. He gets a holiday. They won't even recognize his evil when his evil is even there. You know what I mean? So I can't, like I said, I can't do this. And I'm not anti-white or anti-nothing. I'm anti-ignorance and I'm anti-hypocrisy. And I'm anti-conformity for the fact of conformity. You understand what I'm saying? This is what I have in my heart right here. I ain't really mean to go off on a tangent like that. I was supposed to get out of here about 15 minutes. I tell Sharon y'all say hello. She's still dealing with some sickness. She still don't want to follow what it is I'm telling her. Sharon Hart, your girl is hard-headed. She is hard-headed. But I brought her some coffee, even though I'm against coffee. Because that's what she asked for. But hopefully she'll start to feel better. But she needs to do what I asked her to do. But you can't force anybody to do anything, guys. So again, guys, I have a ton of hemp products, guys. I have the CBD oil, I have the protein shakes, I have the skincare products that are new on the market that I just got. Again, I got what it's called. I got some cream butter. I got a few more things. And I got a bee out here that's trying to get at me. You need to go on somewhere, man. All right, guys. So again, check out my videos, guys, and I'll be doing more things with the hemp products. All right. This bee got me shook. I don't do bees. So all right, guys. You guys have a beautiful day. Sending you peace and love. Peace.